Hi, it's Mr. Becker here. I'm just about to go through the Year 7 calculator paper from 2019. Now, obviously, the first thing I did was I looked through my entire paper and I scanned through the particular questions that I wanted to answer first. All right, you can answer your questions in any particular order you want. So look for something that you're confident in and go for that first. Well, not to confuse things, I'm going to start at question 1. Fantastic. The first one is use your calculator to find the value of this. And it asks us to write down all the figures on the calculator display. So value, it's just going to be what this is worth when we've calculated the answer to it. And I want to write down all the figures, okay? Everything that's on my calculator display. Otherwise, I'm not going to get my mark here. So calculator, open brackets, just basically do it exactly as you see on the page, close brackets, square that, times by the square root of 1.146, check that looks okay, hit equals, and write everything down, 17.995338858, okay, glance back, yeah, I think we've got that one okay. Round your answer to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to round at this point here for my second part B. The 5 is going to mean this rounds up. So actually we're going to get 18.00. Okay, let's look at question 2. So we scan through, we've got 12 pencils are £3.48. So we want the cost for 20. All right, so let's just write down what we know. We know that 12 pencils is £3.48. Well, we want 20 pencils. All right, here, and let's have a think. We probably want to work out what one pencil costs. So your job is to think, to get from 12 to 1, let's divide by 12 here. Let's do the same here, they're in proportion. We're going to get 29p or £0.29 to get the price of one pencil. 20 pencils, well, let's times by 20. And when we do that on your calculator. So we had £3.48 divided by 12 gave you that 29p. All right, and times this by 20, and you've got 5.8. Well, that's £5.80, and then this is where my answer goes, like that. Okay, so let's look at the next question. So the shop sells 2 types of lollipops. Great, thanks for letting me know about that. We can there's not really much information in there to highlight. Big lollipops are 80p, small are 60p. Yeah, we've got that in the diagram, so we've kind of dealt with that. Tone buys are big lollipops and T small lollipops. Okay, so we've got some algebra. Write down an expression in terms of R and T for the total cost in pence of Terran's lollipops. So an expression is going to be some algebra. We're going to have terms that have R and T, so it could look like something like 3R plus 4T. It could be something like that. And we want the total cost, and it's going to be in pence. So let's do that. Now it's an expression that shouldn't have an equal sign in it. It's just some algebra. Let's have a think. If I bought 2 lollipops, big lollipops, it would be 2 times 80 pence. If I bought 5 big lollipops, it would be 5 times 80 pence. If I buy R big lollipops, it would be R times 80. So we've got R times 80p, and if I'm adding up the cost of the other lollipop as well, I'd have T times 60. Okay, now that is my rough work. You wouldn't write algebra like that. R times 80, we would write that as 80R. So I'm going to put my final answer here as 80R plus 60t. All right, and we don't need, it's just an expression, we don't need an equals in it. Okay, the next part. So we've given some more information here. The cost of G lollipops and 2 small lollipops is £10.80. Okay. I think this must mean the large lollipops here. Or big, sorry, big lollipops. Could be clearer. Write this as an equation. Now an equation has got an equal sign in it. And terms of G means it's going to have something, so it's going to be like 10G or something like that in the answer. So let's have a think. We're going to say that the cost, it's going to be an equation, so it's equal to, we know that that cost is there. We've got G lollipops and they cost 80p each, so we've got 80G, and 2 small lollipops, so we've got 2, hang on, we know about this, 2 small lollipops, well that's 2 times 60p, so we've got plus 120 already pence. We can actually write that value down. All right, now the very last part, we're going to use our equation to find G. So this is a solving an equation question. Now let's have a think here. I think I've messed something up here. That is in pounds. The lollipops are in pence. Well, let's just think about fixing this. I would change this from £10.80 to 1080. Okay, so let's just write this again clearer. 80G plus 120 equals 1080. So that is my answer to this. Make it clear. So I'm really glad I glanced back at that question and just saw that one. All right, let's use this one. Use your equation to find G. So 80G plus 120 is equal to 1080. I'm going to subtract 120 from both sides. Okay, so I'm going to have 80G is equal to 960. And then to find G on its own, I would have to do 960 divided by 80. All right, and that's going to give me G is equal to 12. All right, let me check that. 960 divided by 80 is 12. So G is 12.